Hello. Hi guys. Kathy here from the Upstream Home. I'm excited to be with you guys today. You are some of my very favorites to be with. So if you're just jumping on, give us a thumbs up so we can see that you're here and everything's working as it should be because, you know, technology, love it till you don't. Okay, I'm going to give you guys just a minute to get your bearings. I think I have all of my materials together, but I should probably just double check that real quick too. I'm going to be working on this table here behind me today. Okay, I can see you guys popping on. Hello. Hi, Chris. I'm happy to see you. Thanks for having me today. This is so fun. I love being with you guys. So I do have to apologize. There's like a yappy dog out my window. Not my dog. And hopefully it'll stop in a second, but I guess I could close the window too. We're going to give it a minute because hopefully it'll stop yapping. And it's so pretty out. It's like, my guess is it's probably like 40 degrees, but it feels so nice out today. And it's not snowing and it's sunny. So we're going with it. Hi, Ronnie. Thanks guys for jumping on. Okay. I'm super excited. I'm going to jump right in with you guys today. I'm going to work on this table that I have propped up behind me on another table. Look at these cool legs. This is a gate leg, like drop leaf table. And so I'm going to try to show you a little bit of this table without spilling my paint. But it is a full circle. I think you guys can kind of tell that. And then, so it has the 4 legs and then it can drop on one side and then it drops on the other side as well. I will say it doesn't like stand up with just this middle piece up, like one of the leaves have to be up to support the table. But this is a really cool piece. I found this like wrapped up in a corner when I was shopping for furniture one day. And I literally had to like unwrap it to be like, what is this? And then when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is gorgeous. Hi, Morgan. And I snagged it very quickly. I was like, okay, if I leave this unwrapped, this is going to go very, very fast. So that also has like really cool brass features on the legs here that I really like. And yeah, I just really am excited about this. So it's been sitting in the corner for a little bit. I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And then I was like, you know what? This is a great piece to do with you guys. So thanks for joining me to do this today. I did a poll and asked like what color you guys wanted to see on this. And so there were a couple options. Boxwood, which is that beautiful green I love so much. Ironstone, white, which I think I might have gotten just like a few votes for, but I was surprised I didn't get more for those. And then typewriter, which is the winner. I feel like, you guys tell me if you think this is true or not, but I feel like black is becoming the new white. Like I used to not be able to keep white on the floor, if you will. And now I feel like black furniture like sells so fast, which has been really fun to kind of see that transition. And I got so many votes for typewriter. So that's what we're going with today. But I'm giving it a little bit of twist and that I'm taking some inspiration from Morgan Ann here. And I am going to paint the base in typewriter and then I'm going to stain the top with Curio. If you guys aren't following me over on, yeah, you did. I love that. You sold it in a day. That's amazing, girl. Good job. They really are selling like hotcakes, right? Okay. I'm going to, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm going to paint the base in typewriter. I'm going to stain the top Curio. That's what I was going to say. If you're not following me over on Instagram or Facebook, find me at the Upstream Home, both places. I'm also on TikTok. Are you guys on TikTok? Go find me there because it'll be a gift to me if you come join me on TikTok. I'm trying, I'm learning. It is definitely like a learning curve. Anyone else relate to this? And I would love to find you guys there too. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the Upstream Home. But if you go look at the reel I posted yesterday on Instagram, I painted a desk in ink blue and it is so pretty, you guys. And then the top I stained with a Curio stain, a stain I made with the Curio Milk Paint. And it turned out so pretty. It was an orange desk and I was not loving it at all. And I was trying to use traditional stains on it and just not getting the color I wanted. And so I switched it up and painted it with a Curio stain and it looked so pretty. So go find me on Instagram and look at that. And I'm gonna shut this window real quick because this dog is not stopping. is so pretty. Okay. I don't want you guys to have to listen to that because I don't want to listen to that. All right, we're going to get to work. Yes. Chris, I think you asked like what colors I'm seeing are selling really quick. For sure, typewriter. I feel like boxwood is actually really popular as well. Anyone else noticing that? Who here is furniture flippers? Do we have some furniture flippers here today? Are you guys DIY painters? Or are you guys painting to sell? Let me know. I'd be curious to know that. Yeah. And then also, what colors are you guys noticing are staining well? Or selling well? So underneath here, I think you guys can see this little piece of wood that supports the leg. It's the top of the leg. I'm going to paint that black so that it's the same color as all of this. Just transition-wise, sometimes I feel like it's hard to know. Like, do I go, since this is going to be stained, do I stain this piece or go black? I'm going to go black on this. I kind of just follow whatever the manufacturer, like the original finish was, and this goes with this. And so that's what I'm sticking with. So I'm going to paint the whole base of this black, and then I'm going to paint the top. This is such a pretty black, you guys. Do you guys use typewriter? If not, you should. It's so pretty. I'm going to try to pull you closer to you. Agree with transition questions. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, right? Oh, that's better lighting. I think you guys can see that a little clearer. So this piece I'm painting black. It's not connected to this. And I think from like sitting down and looking at it straight on, that is what makes most sense. So I'm going to go black with that. I'm not even going to worry about the top of it. And then I realized after I was prepping the tabletop that I also needed to prep here, right? That's one of the things about drop leaves is you kind of have to paint like two tops or the bottom of the top, I guess. So I was like feeling really good about getting it all prepped. And then I was like, shoot, I have to flip it over and do underneath so that when someone drops one side, it's not like old orange wood. It's the new, fresh, beautiful, warm brown that we're going to get that from that curio stain, right? So we want that to look consistent there as well. And so if you are new to furniture painting, anybody here brand new, have you guys, anyone here who hasn't done much with painting yet? If so, I always suggest starting with something small. An end table is a great place to start. Honestly, something the size of this table would be a great place to start, except for I would say this has a lot of like intricate details and it might be a little frustrating if you're not comfortable with it. So I wouldn't start with something that's as detailed as this particular table is, but I think something this size would be a great option. And I would say do not start with a drop leaf because they are very time consuming. It's kind of like when you paint a cabinet and then you decide to like paint the inside of the cabinet, you're essentially like painting the piece twice, right? Like that is a lot of work to paint a piece and then flip it inside out and paint it again, which is essentially what you do when you choose to paint the interior of a piece of furniture. And so it's kind of the same concept with the drop leaf. So just make sure you mean it before you start your project because it could grow pretty quickly. Okay, hi Jane, thanks for jumping on. Okay, what ratio will I use for the stain? So I'm going to use a 4-to-1 ratio. It'll be 4 parts water to 1 part paint, and it will be plenty to do the top of this piece. The desk that I was saying I did the other day that I just shared on Instagram, I also did 4-to-1 for that stain ratio. In that one, I did 2 tablespoons of paint and 8 tablespoons of water, and I had plenty to do the whole top of that desk. Today I just did 1. I might need to come back and do this when I can pay a little closer attention so I'm not being sloppy. I did 1 tablespoon of paint and 4 tablespoons of water to do the top of this. And I'll probably do like 3 coats is my guess on the top of this for the stain. This typewriter is covering really well, so I'm not sure how many coats I'm going to need on this. Guys, I will likely end up flipping this table over too to paint it. Just make sure that I get all these rounded leg features and yeah, this just has a lot of intricate spaces, and so I'll probably flip it upside down just to make sure I don't miss any spots. Do you guys do that? Find us on TikTok. I found you on TikTok the other day. I was like, oh, here are my people. It takes a minute to find your people there. Anybody else? I'm like, I get very distracted on TikTok too. Sometimes I'm like, well, this is straight crazy. And then other times I'm like, well, this is hilarious. And then I'm like, I don't need to be watching like 30-year-old men like doing stunt tricks or like bloopers or something. I'm like, where are my people? Where are my furniture flipping people? So I've been trying to hone in on that a little bit too. So yes, I did find Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint on TikTok. And would love to find any of you guys that are on there too to help me niche down and find what I'm looking for. Midwest Cottage Finds. Okay, I will go check them out. Ferdinand, I know you are on TikTok too. I definitely found you over there. Anyways, I think it'll be fun to share some stuff there, but it's for sure new to me. So I'm much more comfortable painting than I am on the TikTok. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about like what colors are selling well right now. I would definitely say black. I do feel like white still sells well, but I think one thing that I find to be true is that I feel like people love to like vote for all the wild colors if I like let that happen. But they can sometimes be harder to sell. And so I feel like they're popular in theory, but I feel like sticking with neutrals, especially if you're just getting started, is a great place to start. And so whites are really popular. I feel like black is very popular and selling very quickly right now. Boxwood, I kind of been thinking of boxwood as a neutral. I know it's green, but I'm like, I think maybe like black is the new white. I think maybe green is the new neutral. I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you guys think about that? Has that been your experience at all? Hi, Juliana. So yeah, I think it's been interesting to kind of just see how trends change. And I think like all of us probably have niche down our audience. Anyone who's been doing this for a while and you know what your people want, right? Like my people love this kind of stuff. So I'm super excited. Agree. Green is the new black. It totally is, right? I mean, I'm not saying like I'm the next like trendsetter of what colors are popular, but I am saying green is the next black. Like it is so popular. Okay, this table. So this is what I was saying, how I was saying I probably will have to flip it upside down because there are lots of places that would be super easy to miss if you don't look at it from every angle. So my plan is to distress the base of this table and then do like a full coverage, like a true stain look on the top. That'll be like a pretty industrial look, and I'm excited to see that combination because I haven't done that. The desk I did the other day was in ink blue, and it turned out so pretty, you guys. I like really love it. Go check that out over on, I don't think I have it on Facebook yet, but I definitely do on Instagram. Come find me, follow me over at the Upstream Home. And you'll notice with the desk that I have there, I painted the body of the desk in ink blue, and then I stained the top with Curio, and then I waxed all of it in the same brown wax, like a saddle brown wax, which Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint has as well. Just to kind of like even everything, to give it a consistent finish. And I think it really did the trick. It did exactly what I was looking for it to do. So I was really thrilled with how that turned out. That was not my original plan. My original plan was to paint all of it. And then halfway through, I was like, wait a second. It's like, what if I stain the top? And I was having a really hard time finding a stain that wasn't pulling orange. And I'm like, I don't want an orange desk. Like, that's why I'm painting it. And so I remember seeing Maureen Ann's project of, I think it was a dresser that she stained the top of with Curio. And I loved it so much. And so that's why I jumped on that. And it was really easy to work with. and turned out really beautifully. Okay, I see that there's some things on here. I can't read from back there, sorry. Need the products Kathy is using? You do. You guys want these products. These are like honestly staples on my paint shelf. I don't think I ever run out of typewriter. Like I always have it on hand because it is such a popular one. If you haven't tried it, try it. Go snag some typewriter. And I do not think you will be disappointed. I think you will be thrilled with the coverage it provides, with the depth of the color, all of it. It is a really, really pretty black. So I will also say another product. I meant to tell you guys this. Okay, so this is the paint, the typewriter. And then these, if you don't have these yet, the Milk Mix Easy. If you don't have these yet, grab these too. We put a link up for these as well, Chris, because these are really clutch on mixing the new formula. I find that they really just expedite that process. The new formula, guys, if you haven't used it, it is straight gold. It is so fine and just a really beautiful, provides a really beautiful smooth finish. Using those Milk Mix Easy Drops will really help mix the paint. So I have found that those do the trick and help mix the paint. I think because it's so fine, it just takes a little bit longer for it to combine with the water, and those drops really expedite that process. So go grab those. If you're painting with the new paint, you do not need those with the older formula if you have that on hand, but with the new formula, they are a great addition. Okay, I think I'm going to pause on the base of this so you guys get the idea. I'm going to flip it over later. I'll paint underneath. I'll finish the other two legs. I really want to stain the top with you guys for a little bit because I think that is a really cool technique, and sometimes it's really helpful to see it actually happening. And so I'm going to grab this table down and stain the top with you so you have an idea of how to do that should you choose to. Have you guys used Milk Paint as a stain? Has anyone done that? Also, it doesn't have to be curio, right? Like I could have stained this a different color. I thought that would be kind of fun and almost give it like a whitewash effect or look, but with a color. I might do that on another piece, but with this one, I'm going to stick with the curio for the top of this. Let me grab a rag real quick. Okay. So let's talk about using Milk Paint as a stain. I am using Curio. I added a couple of those Milk Mix Easy Drops to my bowl here. And again, this is 4 parts water to 1 part Milk Paint. And I just did 1 tablespoon of Milk Paint, you guys, for this whole top. It's going to probably get me all 3 coats. I expect it to do that. And so a little bit really, really goes a long ways. You do not need a lot of product to be able to do this. If you're doing a smaller product, you could even probably buy the sample size of the Curio to do stain for a smaller project. Okay, I'm going to use the same thing I always use to apply, which is just a chip brush. Simple. I'm going to throw a pair of gloves on because I am going to wipe this back in that way. It'll just help my hands stay clean. 4 parts water, 1 part Curio. Yep, that's the magic formula. That's the recipe. And I would probably start, even if you were doing, I would probably start there with like anything that you were trying to apply as a stain. Okay, so what have I done to prep this? I've cleaned it just like I clean everything, crud cutter, water, and then I sanded it down with 180 grit sandpaper. I just grabbed my surf prep, and did that quick. Probably took me 5 minutes, like it was not a big deal. And then I flipped it over and I sanded the bottom since this is a drop leaf table. If it wasn't a drop leaf table, I would not have messed with that, but it is. And so you're gonna see the bottom, and so that's what I did. The tabletop will look so awesome, right? It's gonna look so good. One of the things I do love about Curio as a stain that I noticed with the desk I painted is it gives like a little fuller coverage. So yes, I'll still see some of the green, but I honestly didn't see quite as much of the green with it. And you guys, this is new to me. So this is totally, I'm learning as I go. And so thank you for your patience as I like learn with you guys. But I just feel like it's so helpful to see someone try it and be like, okay, that's what I can try. That's how I would do that. And at least have like a starting point for that, right? So I don't want to let this sit on here too long. I'm going to come back and I'm going to just kind of rub it in. You can see it kind of sets in pretty easily and it gives it a nice warm brown look and feel. One of the things I was thinking, like, how does this compare to traditional stains? One of the things that I love about it is it's very easy to work with. Have you guys experienced that? I feel like sometimes stains can be harder to work with. This is very thin. It moves easily. It's not sticky. It's not smelly. It doesn't have toxic products in it. Like, this is a very safe paint. The Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint team has done a really great job on working to get the safest product on the market, and they have knocked it out of the park. And so this is a really great way to get to apply a stain if you don't have great ventilation or you just don't like working with yucky products. Trick is to wipe it off quickly. Yes, that is definitely a trick. Apply it, wipe it off. I'm going to do probably 3 coats of this. I'll just do one with you guys, but I'm just going to repeat the same thing with the next 2 coats. I'm going to let it dry and then do the same thing again. I'll probably decide after 2 coats if I want the 3rd, but I'm expecting that I'll probably need 3. And you can see it dries very quickly. I could apply all 3 coats today. So I like that about it. All right, can you guys see how good this is looking? It really does. I really love the brown that this color provides. I feel like a lot of the stains I was trying the other day were they were very orange or like red, and I just was not liking any of them. I was looking for something that was a much truer brown, and that's why I decided to try this, and I could not be happier with the color. So it looks a little oranger as it's wet. You guys can see that, I think. But then as it dries, you can see how quickly it's drying and how it's turning like a darker brown as it dries. So I think that's pretty amazing about this option. So, all right, and then also, since this is a drop leaf table, I went ahead and sanded in between these cracks too. And once all of this is dry, I'll put the leaves down and stain in there to match the rest of the top. I'll likely still see some of the imperfections in this wood. That doesn't bother me. I'm totally fine with that. If that bothers you, well, maybe if I kept sanding it down further to kind of get those imperfections out of the wood, that would have done the trick. But I really like the imperfections found on antique furniture, and find that they give it like a really organic and antique, like a authentic finish. And so I'm not worried about that. So stepped off. Oh, no worries, girl. Thanks for joining us at all. Okay, so you can see it goes on very quickly. I'm almost done this whole tabletop. Once it's dried, I'm going to flip it over and do the bottom side, and then I'm just going to keep going back and forth to get the whole thing done. And because this is obviously water-based, I can really move this stain like pretty far and kind of work it in. Again, this is just 1 tablespoon for this whole tabletop, top and bottom, 3 coats. I might need a little bit more, but I mean, for sure no more than 2 tablespoons of the paint. So if you're looking for a challenge and you haven't tried this before, I would say this is a pretty easy new trick to add to your tool belt, if you will. Right? The wood looks amazing. Yes, it is coming right along. It's so warm. I think that's what I really like about this color, is that it is so warm. I'm just going to do nice, long, even strokes all the way across. Okay? And I'm just using a lint-free rag to do this. This is nothing special. If you have an applicator pad, you can use it. If I didn't have a lint-free rag, I'd probably just use a blue shop towel. You do not need any fancy tools to be able to try this. Okay? All right, there it is. I'm going to come around the edges again, just make sure I didn't miss any spots there. And this will even out as I apply more coats too. I found it gave like a gray wash finish, but brown. Like, I really love the texture and the dimension that this technique provides. So give it a try. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. I'd be glad to help you. The Miss Mustard Seeds team would be glad to help you. We want you guys to be able to tackle your projects with confidence and just find that this is such a versatile paint and there's so much that we can do with it, and it's such a safe and friendly product. So give it a go. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. If you're catching this after the live is over, you can still drop your questions in the comments, and we will get back to you guys. All right, thank you. Have a good day.